Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is Sean from Having Fun Repairs, and today we got ourselves a little treat here. Some form of a gift I think we got for one of our daughters for Easter. She wanted a bunny rabbit, obviously a little dirty, probably get cleaned up a bit, but we purchased off of Amazon. Roughly, what was this, $59.99, so $60, a little bit more plus shipping. You know, it's not a, when you're a family with 4 kids, $60 is, it's not really something that you just balk at. It's that's quite a bit of substantial money, but after about a year of use at this point, it seems to have ceased functioning, and my wife had told me she swapped the batteries in it, and still no working. And then I can honestly say, prior to it completely stopped functioning, I had was pressing one of these buttons. This one was working, but this one had stopped working. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to figure out a way to get this apart, to see what's going on. Might test it with my bench power supply just in case the batteries my wife put in were bad. Highly unlikely if she got them from the kitchen, because that's where we put all of our brand new batteries. And then we'll try to see what's going on with this guy and see if we can get it repaired. And just as an initial test to exclude the batteries, it takes 3 AA batteries, so we're talking about 4.5 volts to operate. And no matter what position I put this switch in, as stated, no function. The thing is in order to get the innards out, I'm gonna have to break the seam, or rip the seam per se, around this box, and then hopefully I can get the insides out from there, which means I might have to beg my wife to sew this back up if I can't attempt to zip tie or some other function. Actually, it might be using a zip tie inside of the seam. I'm just peeling this back a little bit. There is a plastic tab piece. Yeah, it looks like it appears to me that it's actually using a zip tie to hold it in place. So this might not be as intrusive and destructive as I was first thinking. Let's attempt to get this apart. Okay, I can already imagine if my 2-year-old daughter walked in and saw this scene, the horrors of seeing something like this from the perspective of her eyes and potential imagination. But I've gotten this apart as good as I'm going to be able to for now. All this stuffing, and then we can obviously see the mechanics here. Okay, this is going to house all the gearing assembly. We have one probably color changing LED. I believe it changed colors. And the tactile buttons physically in the hands that have been inverted to operate this thing. And you can see as the wires go to one hand here, these ones are connected. We can see that this one's been disconnected, and that's the one I believe that is obvious was the one that was given function prior to stopping functionality prior to this thing completely ceasing to function. But minus the grotesque scene going on here, we can begin to test some things. Oh, actually, this might just be the voice box. It might have some gears. It looks like the whole gear assembly for the putting the motor for the ears is actually up here. It's one solid piece of plastic. But regardless, I pop the batteries in here real quick. Let's see if we can get them up on the on wherever it will go. See if we get a voltage up here. I see a B. Here's a B. A B, so that might be the B plus. We got additional motor controls on this little IC here. That's interesting. I'll just go ahead and take a volt ohm meter to here, see if we can. See if I can't find a voltage somewhere leading up to this little PCB, and most likely there's probably a, a chip on board or something on the other side there. But know which way we're facing. Battery, so 4.8 volts just right there, and 4.3, 4.3, 4.8. Then these are our tactile switches. So why isn't it turning on with just that one switch disconnected? Because it was disconnected in the past, and that wasn't the, didn't seem to hold it up. I'll tell you what, I'll just go ahead and get this soldered on, just in case if it needs that trigger to operate. Maybe it was just intermittent prior to that. Then I can test this out further if required. So again, that wire soldered back into that little tactile switch on the hand. No big deal, and we got continuity back, and when I depress both buttons I can see the contacts close over to this PCB. And even when I measure our VDD here, I'm still not getting any response from this toy, which means that the problem is probably going to be a bit more internal than what I was originally imagining this to be. So that's no big deal. Hopefully it's nothing incredibly let me get some things out of the way. Incredibly silly. Although silly, barring the use of the word probably means some different things. What I'm trying to say is hopefully it's nothing serious. If it's an IC that's bad, well, we're dead in the water at this point, and this is going to be a failure. But if it's something that we can actually replace or repair, might be able to restore this. All right. So this appears to just be a no chip, no IC on the other side. So this is more or less just a terminal board. And barring what's inside, you have some additional motor functions that you could put on here. So I guess whatever IC is in here, probably some kind of programmable I/O. By the way, it's not something within my tool set to do, reprogram whatever intelligent devices in here. I don't even have a chip programmer per se, or whatever you want to call them. But you know, hopefully nothing like that. Here's as though we gotta remove some tape off of here. There we go. And it is out. And there goes our actual IC here. And you've got the upper motor coming to this board. VDD out to there. And the sad thing is I'm not seeing any broken wires. Oh, yes I do, right here. So it looks like our ground has snapped off. Okay, so from here I go over to PCB a bit and find the pad that the ground was missing from, as well as kind of annotate what is on the board. However, I didn't realize I was out of shot, so we'll pick back up after I solder that wire back to the PCB. Alright, filters have been removed, so watch your ears. I'll turn it back on. There we go. Let's see. Our hands going to control? Yep. That hand works just fine. Changing the music. What about this guy?
Time to go to pool. Time to go home.
Yep.
I'm sleepy.
There we go. Yes, you are sleepy. Well, I'm going to make the one small modification to this, and maybe the manufacturers did this way to, maybe they see something that I don't, but I'm going to run some wires internal to here to this guy and pull these off and reattach it, put everything back together. I'm probably zoomed too far in. There we go. I am going to take these off and attach them to here, and then run wires internal through this to the bottom half of this PCB, and restuff everything, package it, put it back together, and we'll see how it goes once it's all back together. Okay, so modification done, and instead of stuffing it, I've encountered one more issue with this, and that is with the motor. I think it's either seized up or burned out, but you know, when I put 4.5 volts to the leads going to it, there's no actual actuation, so the motor does not spin. So what I'm going to have to do, and we can see that the wire is pinched right here. Hopefully there's no break in it. I'll take this cap off and just see if the leads running to the motor are good. Okay, trying to figure out where this negative wire went because it was broken off. It was a bit confusing because you have the N plus written right here on the PCB, and that red wire going to it, and the N minus is literally right at this post that didn't have through-hole terminal, that didn't have any solder attached to it. So I first threaded into there, and it appears that this is an entire plane that goes all the way to this post right here, but it wouldn't work when I would press a button. But now that I've gone directly to this post, it's working just fine. Alright, and got it back together a little bit, and now you can see the actual ears moving there. So, cool. What I'm going to do is put some hot glue down on this, add a bit of strain relief on these wires here, as well as taping them back up the way they were ran down the side like that. Put some hot glue back down on this guy, and button it up and call it a day. Okay, back together at last. Let's turn it on. And hey, I should take the filters off so you can all get annoyed with me. There we go. Yeah.
Time to go to bed, dear.
Both buttons seem to work.
Hello, dear. Let's play Peekaboo together. Come and play a game. We go hiding in the corner. We go hiding in the wardrobe next door. Come and find me out if you can see me hiding. Peekaboo.
There we go.
Where are you, dear?
Pretty happy with this. It appears to have turned out all right. And I'm pretty sure my 2-year-old is going to be happy again to be getting this back. And yeah, I guess we can just go ahead and close out the video. So if you enjoyed this little Easter Bunny, Amazon purchase repair,
Peekaboo.
yeah,
I see.
nothing too serious with it, just a lot of wires and stuff that broke loose. Then please let me know. I'm not afraid to ask these things. Please let me know by giving this video a thumbs up or leaving some comments or something. Those things genuinely help out smaller YouTube channels when it comes to algorithm and growth. Some of us we're doing this to see if we, I'm not afraid to say it. I'm trying to get monetized, and although I've met the 1K sub count, I still need to hit 4,000 watch hours. Although I'm not banking on this as a future employment per se, but when you got a big family like mine, every little bit of income tends to help. But if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing And, you know, if you're interested in the business side of HFR and the other types of electronics you see me do on my channel, plus vintage audio equipment, radio equipment restorations, then, and you're looking for something like that to be repaired, hit me up. My business site is on my Google site, link in the description. It'll take you to my email and contact information. All that being said, thank you for watching. Take care and goodbye. Bark. Hey Ainsley, what you got, dears?
I got bunny.
Is it fixed again?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a bunny.
Yeah? It's your bunny?
No. The bunny's dead.
Oh, it's not dead. You gotta press the button. You're welcome, baby.